Chapter 17 of Book 1 of Prior Analytics by Aristotle, translated by Octavius Owen. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Jeffrey Edwards. Chapter 17 of Syllogisms with two contingent premises in the second figure. In the second figure, when both premises are assumed contingent, there will be no syllogism, neither when they are taken as affirmative, nor negative, nor universal, nor particular, but when one signifies the simple in esse, and the other the contingent, if the affirmative signifies the in esse, there will never be a syllogism, but if the universal negative be pure, there will always be a syllogism. In the same manner, when one premise is assumed as necessary, but the other contingent, still in these syllogisms we must consider the contingent in the conclusions, as we did in the former ones. Now, in the first place, we must show that a contingent negative is not convertible, e.g., if A is contingent to no B, it is not necessary that B should also be contingent to no A. For let this be assumed, and let B be contingently present with no A. Therefore, since contingent affirmatives, both contrary and contradictory, are convertible into negatives, and B is contingently present with no A, it is clear that B may be contingently present with every A, but this is false, for if this is contingent to all of that, it is not necessary that that should be contingent to this, wherefore a negative contingent is not convertible. Moreover, there is nothing to prevent A being contingent to no B, but B not necessarily present with a certain A, e.g., whiteness, may happen not to be present with every man, for it may also happen to be present, but it is not true to say that man is contingently present with nothing white, for he is necessarily not present with many things white, and the necessary is not the contingent. Neither can it be shown convertible per impossible, as if a man should think, since it is false, that B is contingently present with no A, that it is true that it, A, is not contingent to no one, B, for these are affirmation and negation. But if this be true, B is necessarily present with a certain A, therefore A is also with a certain B, but this is impossible, since it does not follow if B is not contingent to no A, that it is necessarily present with a certain A. For not to be contingent to no individual is predicated two ways, the one if a thing is necessarily present with something, and the other if it is necessarily not present with something. For what necessarily is not present with a certain A cannot be truly said to be contingently not present with every A, as neither can what is necessarily present with a certain thing be truly said to be contingently present with everything. If, then, any one thinks that because C is not contingently present with every D, it is necessarily not present with a certain D, he would infer falsely, for perchance it is present with every D. Still, because a thing is necessarily present with certain things, on this account we say that it is not contingent to every individual. Wherefore, the being present necessarily with a certain thing, and the not being present with a certain thing necessarily, are opposed to the being contingently present with every individual, and in like manner there is a similar opposition to the being contingent to no individual. Hence it is evident that when the contingent and non-contingent are taken in the manner we first defined, not only the necessarily being present with a certain thing, but also the necessarily not being present with it, ought to be assumed. But when this is assumed, there is no impossibility to a syllogism being produced, whence it is evident from what we have stated that a negative contingent is not convertible. This then being demonstrated, let A be assumed contingent to no B, but contingent to every C. By conversion, therefore, there will not be a syllogism, for it has been said that a proposition of this kind is inconvertible. Neither, however, will there be by a deduction per impossible, for B being assumed contingently present with every C, nothing false will happen, for A may contingently be present with every and with no C. Example 1. It happens that no B is A. It happens that every C is A. Therefore, it happens that no C is B. It happens that no B is A. It is necessary that every or some C should be B. Therefore, it happens that every or some C is not A. In short, if there is a syllogism, it is clear that it will be of the contingent, because neither proposition is assumed as de in esse, and this either affirmative or negative. It is possible, however, in neither way, since if the affirmative be assumed, it can be shown by the terms that it is not contingently present, but if the negative, that the conclusion is not contingent, but necessary. For let A be white, B man, and C horse. A therefore, i.e. whiteness, is contingently present with every individual of the one, though with no individual of the other. But B is neither contingently present, nor yet contingently not present with C. It is evident that it is not contingently present, for no horse is a man, but neither does it happen not to be present, for it is necessary that no horse should be a man, and the necessary is not the contingent, wherefore there is no syllogism. Example 2. It happens that no man is white. It happens that every horse is white. It is necessary that no horse should be a man. This may be also similarly shown if the negative be and if both propositions be assumed affirmative or negative, for the demonstration will be by the same terms. Example 3. It happens that every no man is white. It happens that every no horse is white. It is necessary that no horse should be a man. When one proposition also is universal, but the other particular, or both particular or indefinite, or in whatever other way it is possible to change the propositions, for the demonstration will always be through the same terms. Example 4. It happens that every no man is white. It happens that some horse is not white. It is necessary that no horse should be a man. It happens that some man is not white. It happens that every no horse is white. It is necessary that no horse should be a man. It happens that some man is not white. It happens that some horse is not white. It is necessary that no horse should be a man. Hence it is clear that if both propositions are assumed contingent, there is no syllogism. Chapter 18. Of syllogisms with one proposition simple and the other contingent, in the second figure. If one proposition signifies in esse, but the other the contingent, the affirmative proposition being simple, but the negative contingent, there will never be a syllogism, neither if the terms be assumed universally or partially. Still the demonstration will be the same, and by the same terms, yet when the affirmative is contingent, but the negative simple, there will be a syllogism. For let A be assumed present with no B, but contingent with every C. Then by conversion of the negative, B will be present with no A, but A is contingent to every C. Therefore there is a syllogism in the first figure, that B is contingent to no C. So also if the negative be added to C, but if both propositions be negative, and one signifies the simple, but the other the contingent non in esse, from these assumed propositions nothing necessary is inferred, but the contingent proposition being converted, there is a syllogism, wherein B is contingently present with no C, as in the former, for again there will be the first figure. If however both propositions be assumed affirmative, there will not be a syllogism. Let the terms of presence be health, animal, man, but of not being present with health, horse, man. Example 1. It happens that every animal is well. Every man is well. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. It happens that every horse is well. Every man is well. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. Every animal is well. It happens that every man is well. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. Every horse is well. It happens that every man is well. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. The same will happen in the case of particular syllogisms. For when the affirmative is pure, taken either universally or particularly, there will be no syllogism, and this is shown in like manner through the same terms as before. Example 2. It happens that no animal is well. Some man is well. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. It happens that no horse is well. Some man is well. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. Every animal is well. It happens that some man is not well. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. Every horse is well. It happens that some man is not well. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. But when the negative is simple, there will be a syllogism by conversion, as in the former cases. Again, if both premises be taken negative, and that which signifies simply the non in esse be universal, from these propositions no necessity will result, but the contingent being converted as before, there will be a syllogism. If, however, the negative be pure but particular, there will not be a syllogism, whether the other premise be affirmative or negative. Neither will there be one when both propositions are assumed indefinite, whether affirmative, negative, or particular, and the demonstration is the same, and by the same terms. Example 3. Some animal is not well. It happens that some man is not well. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. Some horse is not well. It happens that some man is not well. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. It happens that some animal is not well. Some man is not well. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. It happens that some horse is not well. Some man is not well. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. Chapter 19. Of syllogisms with one premise necessary, and the other contingent, in the second figure. If, however, one premise signifies the being present necessarily, but the other contingently, when the negative is necessary, there will be a syllogism, wherein not only the contingent, but also the simple non-inesse may be inferred, but when the affirmative is necessary, there will be no syllogism. For let A be assumed necessarily present with no B, but contingent to every C. Then by conversion of the negative, neither will B be present with any A, but A was contingent to every C. Wherefore there is again a syllogism in the first figure, so that B is contingently present with no C. At the same time, it is shown that neither is B present with any C, for let it be assumed to be present. Therefore, if A is contingent to no B, but B is present with a certain C, A is not contingent to a certain C, but it was supposed contingent to every C, and it may be shown after the same manner if the negative be added to C. Again, let the affirmative proposition be necessary, but the other negative and contingent, and let A be contingent to no B, but necessarily present with every C. Now, when the terms are thus, there will be no syllogism, for it may happen that B is necessarily not present with C. Let A be white, B man, C a swan. Whiteness, then, is necessarily present with a swan, but is contingent to no man, and man is necessarily present with no swan. Therefore, that there will be no syllogism of the contingent is palpable, for what is necessary is not contingent. Example 1. It happens that no man is white. It is necessary that every swan should be white. It is necessary that no swan should be a man. Yet neither will there be a syllogism of the necessary, for the latter is either inferred from two necessary premises, or from a negative necessary premise. Besides, from these data it follows that B may be present with C, for there is nothing to prevent C from being under B, and A from being contingent to every B, and necessarily present with C, as if C is awake, B animal, and A motion. For motion is necessarily present with whatever is awake, but contingent to every animal, and everything which is awake is an animal. Example 2. It happens that no animal is moved. It is necessary that everything awake should be moved. Everything awake is an animal. Hence it appears that neither the non-inesse is inferred, since if the terms are thus, the inesse is necessary, nor when the enunciations are opposite, so that there will be no syllogism. There will be also a similar demonstration, if the affirmative premise be transposed, but if the propositions are of the same character when they are negative, a syllogism is always formed, the contingent proposition being converted, as in the former cases. For let A be assumed necessarily not present with B, and contingently not present with C. Then the propositions being converted, B is present with no A, and A is contingent with every C, and the first figure is produced. The same would also occur if the negation belongs to C. But if both propositions be affirmative, there will not be a syllogism, clearly not of the non-inesse, nor of the necessary non-inesse, because a negative premise is not assumed neither in the simple nor in the necessary inesse. Neither again will there be a syllogism of the contingent non-inesse, for necessary terms being assumed, B will not be present with C, e.g. if A be assumed white, B a swan, and C man. Nor will there be from opposite affirmations, since B has been shown necessarily not present with C. In short, therefore, a syllogism will not be produced. Example 3. It is necessary that every swan should be white. It happens that every man is white. It is necessary that no man should be a swan. It will happen the same in particular syllogisms, for when the negative is universal and necessary, there will always be a syllogism of the contingent, and of the non-inesse, but the demonstration will be by conversion. Still, when the affirmative is necessary, there will never be a syllogism, and this may be shown in the same way as in the universals, and by the same terms. Example 4. It happens that no man is white. It is necessary that some swan should be white. It is necessary that no swan should be a man. It happens that no animal is moved. It is necessary that something awake should be moved. It is necessary that everything awake should be an animal. It is necessary that every swan should be white. It happens that some man is not white. It is necessary that no man should be a swan. Nor when both premises are assumed affirmative, for of this there is the same demonstration as before. Example 5. It is necessary that every swan should be white. It happens that some man is a swan. It is necessary that no man should be a swan. It happens that every man is white. It is necessary that some swan should be white. It is necessary that no swan should be a man. It is necessary that some swan should be white. It happens that every man is white. It is necessary that no man should be a swan. It happens that some man is white. It is necessary that every swan should be white. It is necessary that no swan should be a man. But when both are negative, and that which signifies the non-inesse is universal and necessary, the necessary will not be concluded through the propositions, but the contingent being converted, there will be a syllogism as before. If however both propositions are laid down indefinite or particular, there will not be a syllogism, and the demonstration is the same, and by the same terms. Example 6. It happens that some animal is not white. It is necessary that some man should be not be white. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. It happens that some animal is not white. It is necessary that something inanimate should be not be white. It is necessary that nothing inanimate should be an animal. It is necessary that some animal should be not be white. It happens that some man is not white. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. It is necessary that some animal should be not be white. It happens that something inanimate is not white. It is necessary that nothing inanimate should be an animal. It appears then, from what we have said, that an universal and necessary negative being assumed, there is always a syllogism, not only of the contingent, but also of the simple non-inesse. But with a necessary affirmative, there will never be a syllogism. Also, that when the terms subsist in the same manner in necessary as in simple propositions, there is and is not a syllogism. Lastly, that all these syllogisms are incomplete, and that they are completed through the above mentioned figures. Chapter 20. Of syllogisms with both propositions contingent in the third figure. In the last figure, when both premises are contingent, and when only one is contingent, there will be a syllogism. Therefore, when the premises signify the contingent, the conclusion will also be contingent. Also, if one premise signifies the contingent, but the other the simple inesse. Still, when one premise is assumed necessary, if it be affirmative, there will not be a conclusion either necessary or simple. If on the contrary it is negative, there will be a syllogism of the simple non-inesse, as before. In these, however, the contingent must be similarly taken in the conclusions. First then, let the premises be contingent, and let A and B be contingently present with every C. Since therefore a particular affirmative is convertible, but B is contingent to every C, C will also be contingent to a certain B. Therefore, if A is contingent to every C, but C is contingent to a certain B, it is necessary also that A should be contingent to a certain B, for the first figure is produced. If again A is contingently present with no C, but B with every C, A must also of necessity be contingently not present with a certain B. For again there will be the first figure by conversion. But if both propositions be assumed negative from these, the necessary will not result, but the propositions being converted, there will be a syllogism as before. For if A and B are contingently not present with C, if the contingently not present be changed, there will again be the first figure by conversion. If however one term be universal, but the other particular, when they are so, as in the case of simple inesse, there will and will not be a syllogism. For let A be contingently present with every C, and B present with a certain C, there will again be the first figure by conversion of the particular proposition, since if A is contingent to every C, and C to a certain B, A is also contingent to a certain B, and in like manner if the universal be joined to B, C. This also will be produced in a similar way if A, C be negative, but B, C affirmative. For again we shall have the first figure by conversion. If however both are negative, the one universal and the other particular, by the assumed propositions there will not be a syllogism, but there will be when they are converted as before. Lastly, when both are indefinite or particular, there will not be a syllogism, for A must necessarily be present with every, and with no B. Let the terms de inesse be animal, man, white, and de non inesse horse, man, white, the middle term white. Example 1. It happens that something white is not an animal. It happens that something white is not a man. It is necessary that every man should be an animal. It happens that something white is not a horse. It happens that something white is not a man. It is necessary that no man should be a horse. End of chapter 20. Recording in memory of Mitchell Edwards.